It is August 20th and UT and Angel here. We are wanting to show some of the stuff in our garden to do sort of an update, but we don't want to cover the tomatoes and peppers because we've been covering those pretty well and we have a lot more coming up on them. Our tomatoes are all coming in. We're just waiting for some more to ripen and then we'll be firing off some tomato tester videos. Peppers are still doing really good. We got about 7 or 8 different varieties left that we haven't tested on camera that are pushing along pretty well, that we will most likely get a chance to show at the end of the season. But I wanted to talk about everything but the tomatoes and peppers. So let me go around. I'll try to identify which ones are which and tell you a little bit about them if I can think something of them right now. But wanted to do a one-off update video. It also works really well for our vlog to kind of show where we were at this point. We've been going back to our older videos last year to kind of see where we're at. So a lot of this year we were feeling down about how things were going in the yard with our struggle. We're in the middle of a huge heat wave, about 3 or 4 months straight with nearly 100-degree weather and also no rain. We haven't gotten any rain since the end of March. So let me take you around. Those are ornamental peppers, so that's a pepper. This one is Brussels sprouts, and we just threw a bunch in a little tiny cup, a bunch of seeds. Didn't really plan on growing them or thinking about it too much, but these plants are just, they're doing really well. They just were crowded out pretty well, so I come in and trend them. This is the problem I always have with leafy greens, is we always get worms. And if I go to a farm market or I go somewhere looking at leafy greens from a farm market, I don't mind if I see like a couple little worm bug chew holes, but when it's on my plants, I don't know why, I just I have a problem eating leafy greens that I've seen the bugs on from my yard. So I don't know why that is, but that's Brussels sprouts. I don't know if anything will come from it. They take a long time to grow and we just barely uncrowded them. This is onions, white onions here. I can't remember if Angel put in bulbs or seeds on these, but she's been clipping from the greens mostly, so we know that these ones won't come along fast enough to finish out the year. But she just threw some in this little bucket thing here and wanted to grow them for the greens to use them in food, and we've used them in food. So those are some purple dragon carrots that were also in a little tiny cup that Angel planted in that pot right there, and they are starting to snap back. I don't know if we'll get any carrots from them, but we'll see. Kiddo grows the carrots. He's the bigger fan of carrots. He planted the original seeds and Angel did the transplant, but hopefully a couple purple dragon carrots. This is a Delcatty Squash, and it's my sister's favorite squash, and she got one from her local farm market last year, saved the seeds, and we had given several of these plants out. One of them's growing through the fence there, and the other one comes down and it's got a squash forming on it. So this will be our first squash grown in the yard in several years, and it's a Delcatty, and I was growing it for my sister, so if I don't get a chance to see her when it's ready, then we will go ahead and do a sit down and eat video with it maybe. That's the Celosia. Angel saved a lot more seeds from this year. This plant grew excellent. It looks horrible, especially in the sun, but her Celosia from seeds. These are some sort of bunching onion from Denmark, I believe, that we got from a person down at the farm market. They were only there one day selling some little plants and stuff. I liked the story on it. It's probably the original heirloom variety that the bunching onions, or the walking onions, that people know a lot more about come from. So these ones grow really small. They only grow maybe 2 or 3 feet tall and produce these little teeny tiny onions and stuff. So probably not as preferable as having a larger walking onion, usable onion, but still a real unique plant to grow in the yard. These ones here are some purple opal basil. We got some of those going from seeds. This is the purple ruffle, and this is the dark opal. So we also have purple ruffle growing right here. This is the last plant that wasn't going to make it into our yard all the way until June. This was by itself. It is Cantaloupe. In Utah there's a place called Green River, and Green River has excellent melons and excellent cantaloupe, and a giant cantaloupe from there was brought over to my sister's house by my cousin, and we saved the seeds on it, and that's one of them. It definitely doesn't have enough time to produce, I don't think, but it was just, we couldn't let this one plant. At the end of the year, when we give away all our plants and everything, we always end up with a few that will become long shots in the yard, and this is one of them. And here is the red Malabar spinach. It's got some basil in there, it's overcrowding, but look at how this Malabar spinach grows. There's a branch coming up over here, 2 offshoots coming here, still winding all the way up, then it comes out, and then it winds up this tomato, and then it's coming out this way, and it is really taken off. So as soon as our heat wave hit, it's stabilized for a second. It wasn't really growing too much, and then now it's just like shot off. Now it's closer to the end of the season. So some people don't prefer the flavor of this Malabar spinach. It can have a really green, bitter, leafy flavor, but me and Angel really like it, especially since we grow a lot of the things we do just for the uniqueness of it, not necessarily for the production, even though next year we'll probably try to push a higher production yard and less of a unique theme. We'll still have plenty of unique, but okay. And coming all the way down, this is Kiddos corn bin. It has 3 stalks of corn and a couple foremen on it. They look a little small or wonky, but we'll have to see if that works out. So Kiddo will be probably taking one of these out pretty soon, and in there is growing a cucumber, a dragon egg cucumber, and it's flowered and flowered and flowered and wasn't pushing anything. Love it when my camera just kicks out for no reason, but it comes all the way across, and there is a dragon egg cucumber right there. So that's for Kiddo, and we will be pulling that off to maybe give it a try at some point pretty soon too. So we're not sure how much we'll be able to catch on camera this year. So that's pineapple sage, and we've clipped that, big pieces of that off over and over and over again, and it keeps just doubling and doubling. So sage is a really good one to grow. It's a little bit less usable than a lot of other herbs in culinary uses, but it literally, it's pineapple sage. It smells just like pineapple, like that. The flavor isn't quite as sweet as pineapple, but it does have a sweet flavor as well. And an extra stalk of corn, a couple shoddy rosemary in there. That's a densiformis yew. That's Kiddo's shrub. We've had that one since year 1 or 2. We're on year 6 here now. That's a green beauty boxwood of mine. There's Angel's golden unanimous shrub. And there's some Cherokee wax beans. They look really horrible now, but she just pulled a few more off, and she's probably pulled 15-20 from this plant this year. So she really, I think she said her favorite thing is beans fresh out of the garden. So just plants that grow in the garden and go out there and eat fresh, she likes beans. And so I threw a bunch around her plant here, a bunch of Cherokee wax beans seeds around here, and she's been pulling quite a few from them. This is our sweet potatoes. They're mostly the white variety of sweet potato. There is some of the golden ones. The golden ones are really thin leafed though, whereas in the white sweet potatoes are just kicking butt. So I don't know if we'll get any sweet potatoes from this year, but it's a really beautiful plant to have in the yard. It draws a lot of attention. It's growing really strong and almost like the Malabar spinach. It's like a succulent style plant. These leaves are edible, but being that it's on our back fence, we get a lot of birds back here, so we won't be eating any of this plant, but we'll be hoping for the sweet potatoes down below pretty soon. This one is a flower bin. It's got some irises, some calla lilies, some tiger lilies, some sweet William flowers, just random ones that we find along the way. We usually throw a couple new ones in here each year from our 4th of July parade and things like that, but the big flu kind of took that from us. This is spearmint and apple mint together, and they kind of look really similar, but we've hoard of this stuff this year as well, so Really happy about that. We've also clipped a ton of lemon balm. Lemon balm and one kind of mint is the two of the things that Angel uses often for tea. And we have tea probably at night before bed once or twice a week. And this lemon balm right here, it's an anti-anxiety. It's such a calming, nice tea to mix some mint and lemon balm together, maybe some real honey mixed in there. And that's what we use that for. This is our lemon tree that we transplanted into the bucket, and it is doing excellent. Here's the sedum. Sorry, I know the light's bad. I'll try to speed this up too. This video is getting kind of long. This is a dragon's blood sedum, some hens and chicks, and some tricolor sedum. Some burgundy okra. We've already pulled a couple pods off of that and another one. It's really just barely starting to do well because of our heat. So a lot of this stuff can get crowded too and in a bad spot until the yard kind of forms itself and moves itself around. We rotate things constantly. It's hard to do a video of the yard with how often we are constantly like moving things around, but these are all peppers. Some basil Angel put in there. I think the beets didn't work, so we dumped the soil out and put some new soil in there, and Angel planted some basil, so hopefully we'll get some basil. We just barely moved it into this better spot though. That is radishes that have been sitting in there for a long time. Most of them were nearly decimated by a bug that came through and just would shear things off. But I think I found that little guy and got rid of him. So what else? I haven't hit this bin out here. I hit that stuff. Here is the comfrey that came from Sapper, and we've completely cut that down several times, and that's just all new growth right there. So this stuff grows pretty good. We haven't been making comfrey tea with it, but we have been using it in bins, and I think I will continue to chop it and then near the end of the year, or leaving it in here like this. So if not, I'll be taking this entire thing up, shearing it off. We've been putting the leaves in the compost and breaking up the chunks and sending them out. Comfrey's a tough one for our yard because we don't have a lot of room. The entire yard from the wall there all the way to the fence is only 26 feet. And from fence to fence, long ways like that, it's 15 feet. So you're looking at about 9 yards by 5 yards, or 15 feet by 26 feet. One cough per video. But this is the walking onion bulbs, the bunching onion bulbs, and the garlic we planted. And it's hard to see, but we got 4 of the walking onions came up, both bunching ones, and not any garlics come up yet. So it's been a couple weeks. I'm not quite sure if it just, maybe got oversaturated on this side. We've noticed too, we've been having a lot of problems lately with a large amount of worms in our stuff. They'll go after pea seeds, they'll go after corn seeds direct sown, they'll go after some squash seeds and stuff once they're starting to soften up. So our worms in our soil is so extreme that like we need to kind of like cut back on that a little bit, because like if we get things too saturated, we not only get the white worms, we get the giant like earthworms, we get the red worms. Like you can move the soil around and you could just see like they're right up near the surface and stuff. So we've tried different styles of watering with it and stuff, and it may just be garlic. Sometimes we don't see it around until next year. We will plant garlic all through our yard. So just as we have like a couple extra bulbs of garlic, we'll break it up into the cloves and stick it in there. But this is mostly peppers and tomatoes, and a lot of that stuff we're going to be showing real soon. I was hoping to get less than 10-minute video in, and I'm 99% sure that didn't happen, but this is UT and Angel, and I wanted to do this for a quick vlog, everything but peppers and tomatoes. It is August 20th of 2020, and I love you guys. I'll catch you next time.